All right, welcome everybody. It's time for NXT. We are here a week removed from a shocking episode where Stephanie Vaquera lost the NXT title. She's already on Monday Night Raw. She's already qualified for Money in the Bank. Ricky Saints also lost the North American title to Ethan Page. And we are a few days away from Worlds Collide, where some NXT talent will be participating against AAA talent as well as some other main roster talent as well. But now it's time for NXT, and we are going to get a recap. Hey, George, glad you're here. Of last week's events. This show, this North American title match from last week really picked up a second gear. However, I will say, I don't know, it started kind of slow for me, but the second half was great. Title change was a shock to me. That diamond cutter onto the chair outside, right on the throat, was nasty. Another twist of fate inside the ring, and that was that. Ethan Page has reclaimed the North American title. Not reclaimed. He was NXT champion before, but now he's North American champion. All right, so we will see what comes of. We got Trick Williams and Mike Santana as well. So give me just a second here, and I'll be right back, fellas.
Right back. Oh, that's so cute.
All right. Hey, everybody. All right, we're back and happening. As you guys know from early on, hey, Dossie, good to see you. It's graduation season at my house, so we've got some different things going on in and out. So I might be a little here and there during the broadcast tonight, but we're still hitting recaps from last week. You know, in retrospect, that little walk down the back aisle of Stephanie Vaquera really was kind of a goodbye. A and B combos in the house. Hey guys, glad you're here. That was much like our truths. The last time is now kind of walk for NXT, but we just didn't know at the time. I'll give him credit. I didn't for 1 second think that JC Jane was walking away with that title. So, yeah, just crazy stuff. That numbers game, man. I still can't believe Stephanie's doing double duty this weekend. Her and Gable, because the ladder match being the second match for both of them. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's them. But I feel like bringing Stephanie up, he's just running her right through the meat grinder, like right away. I just hope she comes away safely, because they're all going to be kicking themselves if they pushed her too soon. And again, that's not a slight on her ability. It's just dangerous work, because they don't do house shows anymore. They don't do a lot of repetition in performing like they used to. So wrestling twice in one day. Granted, the first match is going to be a tag match, so maybe she'll get some rest. Maybe Lola will do some of that work. Speaking of changes, fatal influence in the building. I think you're right, George. I do think Fallon Henley's going to. They've already been teasing a little bit of jealousy. Mike Santana's in the house. We get a TNA title match tonight. Trick Williams and Mike Santana. So that's gonna be wild. Man, Trick will be anywhere without a shirt. I mean, I can't say that I blame him. If I had that going on, I'd probably feel more confident about that as well. If you hear a little sniffing and trotting around, my channel mascot Lad is in the house. He may be coming around. If he gets really excited, he may hop up and say hi. But Lad, hey buddy. Come here, dude. Lad, you want a cookie? These are dog cookies, by the way. I don't feed my dog person cookies. Hi. Hey. But okay, so we have All Ego Ethan Page, the North American champion, coming out, and I guess we're going to get a promo segment. Now, listen, if you guys are going to take time to watch Worlds Collide with me on Saturday, which you should, this 4-way match I think is going to steal the show. I think it's absolutely going to steal the show. So, Sophie, my thoughts on Ric Flair tweeting how mean he is regarding Jim Ross. I mean, I won't mince words. Ric Flair's always had a problem with alcoholism. It was just a part of his gimmick in the 80s, and people didn't really take it seriously. And we've learned since then with 30 for 30s and all that stuff how serious that is. And I think that man needs intervention in his life. I'm sure the substance has done its damage already in his life, but hopefully he can recover before it's all said and done. Yeah, Shawn Legacy's still the number one contender, which is wild. This is a 4-way match with a number one contender already established, and Ricky Saints is not even in the conversation anymore, which really makes me wonder if he'll get a call up or if he'll just show up like we've been waiting for Bailey to. Laredo Kid is here. Well, whatever he said was outside of my linguistics, but the Hispanic crowd was offended for him, so it must have been spicy. Justin, I thought Raw was a solid show. I actually went live earlier this afternoon and gave some thoughts on the show segment by segment. Feel free to check that out later on. I need every minute of viewership I can get these days. So Shawn Legacy is here. Shawn Legacy is a wild character. He dresses like 1993 Lex Luger in his gear, but he's very talented in the ring. I'm still ready to see him and Javon one-on-one. Anthony, good to see you. Sophie Duffy, no, Money in the Bank or Worlds Collide aren't that far away. They're in the same parking lot. So in LA, the building holding Money in the Bank and the building holding Worlds Collide, they're just on opposite sides of the same giant parking lot. So more or less, I might be a teensy bit exaggerating, but they are that close to each other though. So it won't be bad. So no, I don't think, I mean, I don't know. Oh gosh, the Vanity Project is here. This is what happens when the Spirit Squad throws red in their laundry. Seriously, these guys look like they're going to tear down the youth center to build condos in an 80s movie. They're just absolute 80s movie villains. If they knew karate, they'd be Cobra Kai straight up. These guys, the Vanity Project, so they're from Evolve as well. We're gonna get a 6-man. We're about to Teddy Long this thing. Where's Pretty Richie? Whenever we see 3 people in the ring, we know we're getting a triple threat. And if we see 6, only factors of 3 here. Javon, Laredo, and Legacy wouldn't be a bad trios right there, though. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All 3 of them take flight. And here come some of the most useless security in all of WWE. They're quite extra. Yeah, so we'll see. Sophie, I hope you do. I hope they don't do karate Cobra Kai spinoffs. I've seen the new Karate Kid movie. I saw it last week, and it was fine. But if you ever want to hear my movie reviews, check the banner right there. Check me out on Instagram or TikTok. Last night, I actually saw So I go see all my movies at AMC theaters. That's just the closest theater chain that's in my neighborhood. And they have a program called AMC Screen Unseen. So basically, for a cheaper price, you just go in blind and they start the movie. And so my wife and I did that last night during the last hour of Raw. But we saw a movie called The Life of Chuck, which I've already put a review up for on my Instagram and my TikTok as well. That was a phenomenal movie. It was really, really good. Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he was one of the main characters. And it's really hard to describe, but it's based on a short story. It's based on a Stephen King short story, but it's not really a scary movie. Anyway, it's really good. So really good stuff. Karate Kid Legends was okay. It felt like two completely different movies, two completely different scripts just smushed together. And there's like no reference to the Cobra Kai series at all, other than Daniel being there. And Johnny does show up in a post-credit scene just as a gag, but it has nothing to do with the plot. All right, let's check up some stuff. George said, okay, Chase U and Dark State is next. We'll get to see more with Dark State. That's good. Let's see what we've got here. See if I missed anything else. Just Alex said that Triple H told Road Dogg to delete his tweet about R-Truth's release. Yeah, so R-Truth. I imagine we'll be talking about that some tonight. Yeah, so there's definitely I don't know that I have what I would call a contrarian opinion about this, but I think there's more news coming out. There was some clarity today. Some people said that the result of him getting released was him declining a lower offer, which honestly makes sense with TKO. I've heard stories like that about UFC fighters as well, that when, they'll lowball somebody and, we don't have any figures as to what that would be, but the Truth declined. And as a result, he was released. I complain a lot about TKO's ticket price increases and how that impacts the crowds that we're seeing. And listen, I'm happy for a lively crowd, even if I'm not cheering the things that they're cheering. But at the same time, our crowds, more often than not, are pretty cheer happy about lots of things these days. And I got to say that I think that I just don't know if the ticket buying fan base has the stamina to keep up these chants long enough for there to be a change. I mean, many of us were around for the 10 years where all we heard were CM Punk chants. I remember 2014 and 15 when the yes chants were going bananas every single week, even after Daniel Bryan won WrestleMania and then had to release the titles due to injury. When he came back, the chants were strong again when he wasn't being booked at the top. And I just don't know how long it will stay for Truth. I do hope he comes back because I miss him, and I don't at all appreciate the way he was let go. It was very unceremonious, given how much he'd actually given to the company and how much value he had proven that he has, both merch sales, popularity, all that stuff. Even if he was never going to be used as a main event dude, but if we don't know. First of all, I don't know that it's true that he rejected a lower offer. But if he did, that offer could have been so low, he could have also thought to himself, I can make more money doing something else if I'm not restricted. Vikingo is here in the crowd. Vikingo taking on Chad Gable on Saturday. Chad Gable, who lent his boots to El Grande Americano last night. Lucky boots, man. Got him qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Pretty impressive after all. And let me get this pulled up here as Chase U and their pledges, their freshmen, enter the arena. I just saw a video where they were changing it when CM Punk was in the ring with Jay and Sammy, and Punk said, "Let the record state, how dare you chant for someone who isn't there." CM Punk is the absolute perfect person to say that, by the way. I think that's probably the best effort guys at Punk's level can do to try to sort of be taking the company position without actually, taking the venom out of it. I said earlier today, Punk definitely seems like he's in the dad phase of his career. He just seems to be much happier, and I'm happy for him. But at the same time, it's a little weird because Punk was always our rebellious punk rock, voice of the voiceless. And, well, he's earned a little bit of happy. Oh, I couldn't disagree more, Sophie Duffy. I hope we keep El Grande Americano for months to come. I hope we keep him until he gets an actual mask versus mask match against somebody. I heard someone say they wanted Penta to unmask him during the ladder match, and I would hate that with every bone in my body. I want him to be so legitimized that he has to actually have a mask versus mask match against someone else. Yeah, well, Friday will be very interesting because it'll be the first SmackDown where Cody, is present. If Cody takes the liberty to say something about truth, I would be curious about that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The Judgment Day most definitely were using Carlito's PS5 on loan because that PS5 is gone just along with Carlito. Now, here's one question I do have, though. So I saw photos of Rhea Ripley before Raw started on Monday, and she was wearing a Carlito shirt or a Truth shirt. She was wearing a Truth shirt. And then when she showed up to face off with Stephanie Vaquer backstage, she wasn't wearing the shirt anymore. She was just in a sports bra top and all the other same clothes she was photographed in. And I'm curious, one of two things, and I don't mean to insinuate one over the other. Either she put on the shirt to pose with an R-Truth shirt, or she was asked to remove it before the segment. I don't know which one of those things is true. And I'm not trying to suggest that she's disingenuous by taking a photo with that. Obviously, putting that out there into the internet is enough of a voice of support in its own way. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to put Rhea and Stephanie on screen together just to see how the crowd reacts to it. But hopefully they wouldn't be in a rush because they're gonna throw hands on Saturday. I wish, if it weren't for the fact that this Cody J Logan Cena match was happening and all of that star power, I'd say the women's ladder match really ought to main event. Like the star power in that match and the capacity that match has to be really impressive could be something really amazing. So, yeah, that's right. Dom had a Carlito shirt on. He had it slightly covered up, but he had it there. Dom, I like to believe, in the kayfabe of it all too, that Dominic just wouldn't care anyways. He'd just do it anyway. I feel like the real Dominic Mysterio also probably just wouldn't care either. Something about him that makes me feel like TV Dom is not all that different from real Dom, other than I do believe he's faithful to his wife. Meanwhile, Chase U versus Darkseid. I didn't even ask you guys who you've got in the chat for this match. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to pick against Darkseid at this point. And Chase U, call them the freshmen because, they've got these two brand new recruits. It would make total sense for them to come up short. So I think it's more than understandable. Okay. Darkseid, yeah. Think wrestlers will get fined if they wear Truth or Carlito t-shirts? I don't think so, Justin. I mean, I think it depends on how the public perception of that situation continues to grow. But I don't think it's that nasty at this point. These seem more like situations where they're just expressing love and brotherhood to each other. And it's not like CM Punk when he left that first time and everything was burned bridges and all this other stuff. Osiris here with a double suplex, all that power. Man, Tag into Cutler James, my who now tags into Dion Lennox. Oh, they're coming in for the finish already. I notice again, this trio of Dark State has Saquon Sugars on the outside, not a participant in this match, and he is by far the most talented member of the four of them, and yet he's stuck in the manager role. I'm not big on Cutler James. He just doesn't have the same impact visually than the other three to me when they work in the ring. But NXT is the place to figure that out and build that up. So maybe he'll prove me wrong sooner rather than later. We will see what happens there. Mark Henry said Truth would still be in the WWE if the crazy old man was there. Yeah, no, listen. You'll never convince me to want to go back to the Vince days, but there are certain things Vince held as a priority to him, and I absolutely believe that he would have kept Truth. Oh, so we're going to get a 4-on-4. Is Phoenix here again? Where's that Dragon Lee? I feel so bad. From the top up without seeing their trunks. Their masks really, to be fair, Dragon Lee and Phoenix is, if you're just looking at the masks, they're pretty similar. But that's Dragon Lee. That wasn't Phoenix. I was thinking Phoenix because he's in the 4-way Saturday, and they were already talking about needing a fourth man. I'm like, oh, just pick Phoenix. All right, Trick backstage. The standard has changed. Trick NA. All right, Trick versus Santana tonight for the title. You mean to tell me they couldn't have dusted off Ron the Truth Killings to go versus Trick for the TNA title? Would have been a lot of fun. But we're also getting Miles Bourne and Charlie Dempsey in a rounds match tonight. Winner will not the winner, but if Miles Bourne wins, he's going to be free from No Quarter Catch Crew and will be going on his own. So we'll see how that goes with things. I will say I read the backstage reports after Truth went, and they were quoting a lot of top stars saying, "Hey, nobody. This is so weird. This is so unprecedented. This is so crazy. I don't know what to think anymore." So, like, I think there's a lot of people who are really going through their contracts with a fine tooth comb, keeping their eyes open for stuff. So, at this point, I would say just don't be shocked at who might come next. And I would say pay attention to who's not being used, but Truth was being used. Carlito was being used to a degree. He was present. So Teflon Don in the house, Mod Father, thank you so much for being here, man. Good evening, Stephen, my friend. Ball as well. Hope you're having a blessed day, man. I appreciate it, man. Blessings all around, dude. And it's not just the title belts, man. Life is good. Even when it's hard, it's still a lovely place to be. Let's see. Do I think R-Truth would show up at AEW or TNA? I'm not being a hater, but I don't want him to show up at AEW. I don't think they'd know how to use him. TNA, I wouldn't mind seeing him at, although it would be really awkward now since they have this relationship with WWE. But I do think TNA would do a better job using him. And AEW, I think he'd get a pop for 1 week, and then in 2 or 3 weeks, he'd be forgotten about. AEW just with maybe a few small exceptions, just doesn't have a really good hold on like long-term sustained booking of stars. So when they get someone new and exciting, they just kind of fall off after a little while. Again, not all across the board, but with a few exceptions. So it's just kind of be what it is. So okay. All right. Cool. Just saying goodbye to my family. They're going out on the town for a little while tonight. And so, you know, you gotta say hi to your people. Isn't that right, lad? Okay. If you guys can see, you know what? I'm just gonna tilt you all a little bit and see the channel mascot over there, just making sure the neighborhood, you know, is taken care of. He's a boxer and a lot of fun. Yeah, you know what? I'm disappointed about Carlito's release. You know what I'm disappointed about? And I'll be honest. Okay, listen, I love Truth. I never expected Carlito to come back in the first place. So he was a big surprise at Backlash a couple of years ago. Frankly, I loved his tweet announcing his retirement, saying, "My lawyer has discovered that I've been stealing money from the company for the past 2 years." That is the sweetest deal I could imagine. If I could play PlayStation in the background of backstage segments for 2 years and get that sweet WWE money, free catering and all that other stuff, getting merch and all that, man, I mean, Carlito made a good run of it, man. Nothing but respect there. That being said, any performer, and maybe it's just me being old and old school about this, who's being seen on camera like Truth and Carlito were, I would love every performer to get some kind of goodbye angle. Not necessarily an angle that is goodbye, but like when we lost Ricochet to AEW, like he got beat within an inch of his life and thrown through a car windshield. That was enough to write him off for good. On top of that, Truth, you know, I heard some people say they could have made that Saturday night's main event match a career stipulation on Truth. And you know what? All this to say, oh, by the way, look, everybody, Tyra May Steele, LFG winner, making her debut tonight. Your new Olympic gold medalist. She's a legit Olympic gold medalist. I watched her in the Olympics this past year. Oh my gosh. Ariana is back on NXT. Ariana got her daddy's DNA for performing. She was one of my favorite performers before. She was working with Gigi Dolan for a minute before Gigi got injured. You know, that was like a year ago. But oh man, NQCC is split. Ren Sinclair is in Charlie's corner and Tavion is in Miles's corner. I'm going to tell you right now, if you were watching last week when they announced this match, everybody is in Miles's corner except for Charlie. Ren looked legit. Oh, look, they're meeting together and entering together. That's kind of cute, honestly. Ren Sinclair is all 4 Miles born when they made that announcement. It was really sweet. I honestly kind of hope she stays alongside him. And Tavion, I think Tavion could go do his own thing. He wrestled Mike Santana last week. They started to work on their chemistry, but they worked well together by the end. Baby Randy versus Baby Regal. Who you got? I did see Santino and his daughter team up on TNA. I saw some clips of that. That was really entertaining. Anyway, one more thing about Carlito I didn't say. Talking about writing people off TV. I wish he'd got his date with Raquel. I mean, that would have been so entertaining. And I think I pitched to A&B when we were talking about this. Give them their date and have Stax Lorenzo show up and just Sopranos him. Like, just take him off TV. And you could do that in a way that's entertaining. But yeah, absolutely going Miles Bourne in this match. I knew, listen, we all agreed that he wasn't going to take out Obafemi, but I think that was going to be a coming out party for Miles Bourne anyway, just to show everybody that he could be next man up once Oba moves his way up the card. And when I say up the card, I mean up to the main roster. Yeah, Sophie Dophie, writing someone off TV when they're leaving the company is a very old convention now. That used to be commonplace for every wrestling territory, just losing on your way out or whatever. But like, it seems like there's less of that going on now. Like they'd rather people, and this is, I understand the business sense of it, but I don't like it, is they'd almost rather you be forgotten than lose because the power of a wrestling loss doesn't carry as much weight as it used to now that we're kind of in a post kayfabe world. And so honestly, the biggest damage you can do someone is just keep them off screen if you really want to do that. Justin, Miles' opponent is Charlie Dempsey, another member of No Quarter Catch Crew. So we're doing rounds. I think there are 3-minute rounds. I think it's 5 rounds, or best of 5. I don't know a lot about this sort of European flavor that they put in NXT. Speaking of things being off TV, they broke up Metaphor. Noam Dar was holding the Heritage Cup at that time because he just won it off Lexus King. Now the Heritage Cup is gone. They don't even talk about it anymore. I think we're done with the Heritage Cup, and we don't even get to say goodbye to it. Honestly, I'm gonna have Sean. I'm gonna have the Heartbreak Man's back on that because I'm believing now, seeing all these cuts, I believe they had the "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday" hug from Metaphor, knowing that they were breaking up, knowing that the releases were coming, and they gave them at least one more moment. Sean really seems to treat his talent more relationally than Hunter does, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that Hunter's a jerk or anything, but I do see that. I see that present. I think Sean really does feel like a dad in NXT. And I'm sure the development of faith in his life has probably softened him in terms of compassion to people as well. My boy, Dallas Irvin, reffing this match, by the way. Shout out to Thompson Elementary School back in the day. Maybe they gave the Heritage Cup to Truth as a parting gift. You know what? B? If I would love to see R-Truth show up in AEW if only he brought the Heritage Cup with him Medusa style. I would love it. All right, we've got one fall down right before the first round ends. Bourne picks up a fall. Oh my gosh, we're having inner turmoil among the Catch Crew as they're both trying to, catch people in. Oh, Will Raleigh Sport, hi from the UK. Just hey, thank you so much for subbing, man. Appreciate it. We're here to watch NXT. We're here to talk about wrestling, and we're called Marked by Wrestling because we believe being a mark's not a bad thing. First of all, if you watch this, you're a mark. So like, don't be one of those people who calls other wrestling fans marks. That's the markiest thing to do if you're using mark as a bad word, because we all are. Why we wouldn't be watching it if we didn't. And all being a mark really is just believing in something. And believing in things isn't bad. And when you take time to set aside your suspension of disbelief in wrestling, it's always better. When you take that moment just to let yourself think you're watching the magic trick when it's going on, it's so much better. There's so much more fulfilling. And so it's kind of what we do here. And we still share our takes and our opinions back and forth. But anyway, glad you're here. Hope you come around anytime you want to, man. In the report, Talent said this regime is more ruthless than the last regime. Oh, well, of course the regime is ruthless. It's TKO. I mean, like the UFC's management reputation prior to this merger already had a pretty terrible reputation for being ruthless. So, yeah. So, I did read online over the weekend after, the truth dust started settling. People started fantasy booking him, and I'm not super into fantasy booking right after someone is released, but this did give me a giggle. They said Truth should go to AEW and not be involved in any feuds, not cut any promos, but he should just be seen walking around backstage during other segments and eventually just come up to ex-WWE talent and be like, what are you doing over here? And he could continue that that R-Truth branded confusion. But anyway, whatever Ron Killings is going to do in his life, I know he'll be successful in it because that dude just doesn't lay down for anything. So I do appreciate it. Shamanica, good to see you. Glad you're in here. Truth should go to TNA. I do think there's more valid options for him as an actual competent performer in TNA than AEW. I'm not. All of the things that AEW does have going for it right now, I think Truth would have a hard time fitting into it right now. Not saying he wouldn't do a good job. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He can make anything work, but I think TNA is probably a better environment for him if he wants to continue wrestling. So, just one of those things. All right. Yeah, Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo was his final opponent. Which, I mean, it's not the worst thing. But if there was a plan, it'd be great. If you're hearing he's snorting in the background, by the way, my dog's favorite toy is a pig that he likes to bite all the time. And half the time I don't even hear it anymore because it happens all the time. But if you hear anything weird, my channel mascot is just having a good time. And aren't we all, right? It's NXT night, so it's a great time to do that. By the way, I don't have it on good authority yet, but either Wednesday or Thursday, the coalition will be getting together to have Money in the Bank predictions. I don't know if we're doing Worlds Collide predictions. I'm sure we could. You know what? You can anticipate that. But we're definitely doing Money in the Bank predictions. And we're going to have to figure out some kind of tiebreaker system because A and I both managed to have a tie over the weekend in our predictions last time around. He ran the table on Saturday night's main event, and your NXT boy here ran the table on Battleground. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, I think Worlds Collide could be a really unpredictable card, since you've got two different companies worth of people. All right, we are now in round 3 of the rounds match. Miles Bourne still up 1-0 on Charlie Dempsey. Chat, tell me what you think. Sophie, we tied. We just had the same number of losses between. Don't y'all take B seriously. She was like 1 or 2 picks off. We almost all 3 of us completely tied. But yeah. Well, it was really wild to me that we managed to tie anyways, because when we did the prediction show, which I hope you were with us for, it was so much fun, that all 3 of us had different matches where we were the only outlier. And it just so happened that I think each one of us won at least one of those matches. Like I was the only one who picked Trick to win the TNA title, and it happened. And I forget, A was the only one to pick somebody too. I think Zelina. And yeah, Zelina defending the U.S. title. I mean, if I'd known she was going to break Chelsea's nose, I would have picked her too. But don't try this at home. Justin Hallenkern would say, I hope to see R-Truth and Conan and Road Dogg reunion. Oh, the 3 live crew at Worlds Collide before R-Truth and Conan. Yeah, man. I know, man. Dude, Truth has been such an enduring presence in professional wrestling in a healthy way. He's been involved in so many different things. It's wild. And he was K-Quick, 3 live crew, Ron the Truth Killings. I mean, dude beat Ken Shamrock to be the first black NWA champion, which is wild. Also, a fun tidbit of wrestling history I read today about Truth and the NWA title was that someone posted a photo of him holding the NWA title. And if you guys remember the Blue Meanie from ECW, he commented on that picture saying at this date, this year, at this specific year, Ron appeared in this venue to defend the NWA title. And it was the first time the NWA title had been back in that building since Shane Douglas threw it on the ground. when he threw down the NWA title and christened ECW. And how wild of a piece of trivia is that, you know, Ron the Redeemer Killings there, you know, bringing that moment full circle of restoring the NWA title back in a building where it was disgraced. Granted, we got ECW out of all that. So hindsight's 2020, but it is what it is. By the way, I'm doing a terrible job of giving you guys play-by-play tonight, but we've had a lot of wrestling stuff to talk about this week. We're in round 4, about a minute left. We're tied 1-1, Charlie and Miles Bourne. I feel kind of guilty being so disrespectful to Charlie Dempsey because he is a legit Regal. And I know his best stuff is probably still ahead of him, but even NXT has conditioned me not to take him seriously. Well, not as a threat, not seriously. I do take him seriously, but not as a threat. And oh man, what a backslide into a bridge. I've never even seen that before. Absolutely nutty. Of course he hit the drop kick, baby Randy. And that is 2-1, 12 seconds left. And that's that. He wins 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Bourne is free from No Quarter Catch Crew, going on his own. Tavion celebrating behind him. Hard to see what Ren Sinclair's doing yet, if she's also celebrating him as well. She's next to him. I think she's still happy. Victory roll. And caught him. He out-wrestled him, man. Just straight out-wrestled him. Oh, sorry, guys. I was muted. Got the calling backstage. Whoa. Izzy Dame just decided to cut. Shoot. Is it Briggs or is it Jensen? That's I think it's Briggs, right? Is it so bad? Those guys were at Jensen. Thank you, George. I never remember which one is which. Briggs, one of those dudes is Bull Buchanan's son. And then there's the other one. But anyway, yeah, Jensen is out of the calling, and Izzy Dame decided it, smacking him in the back with a chair. So I wonder if they're looking to recruit a new member in that regard. Justin, I mean, Charlie carries himself like a heel, but he is very much a William Regal kind of heel. You know what and what I mean by that is that maybe he doesn't outright cheat, but he is kind of surly all the time. He's surly and he's a good wrestler. So like, kind of like Gunther, to me, that's how I see Gunther. Is he's just a man who he is, but he doesn't really go out of his way to do heelish things by way of cheating, which is which is sort of the commonplace heel tactic. So yeah, I mean, if you made me choose face or heel, I'd say he's a heel. But yeah, oh man, they could let Jensen go. I didn't even think about that. Hey, but at least he got rode off. If that's the case, see, NXT, even the bar is so low, you guys. The bar is so low for cutting people off, man, and letting people go. I mean, that's how we got rid of Metaphor, was just a toast in the back, basically. I mean, Stephanie and we don't know what the future holds for Ricky Saints yet. And Stephanie wasn't cut; she was promoted, but you know, people just going out. They go out the old school way. Alex Alberto, glad you're here. No, losing by a Miles Bourne drop kick isn't buried because the joke is the whole baby Randy Orton thing. And I don't know how long you've been watching wrestling or what your familiarity is, but one of the sort of meme level Randy Orton trivias is the height that he gets on his drop kick. So that's clearly just a reference to all that. And he also didn't lose by the drop kick. It was a pinning reversal. So, I mean, fair enough, but we're still here on the break. So, hope everybody's week is going well. T-Man, glad you're here as well. I don't think I shouted you out earlier. Yeah. So, here's a question. Do any of you have plans to watch the 4-hour Dynamite tomorrow? Wednesday's usually a church night for me, so I'm not going to probably be able to manage that. But I was so intrigued by how absurd that seemed to me. 4 hours on a Wednesday night. I almost wanted to check it out. I have this real calling it a death wish is a little dramatic, but I have this little bit of masochism I keep thinking through that I might want to try to dig into AEW at some point, since I really don't have a huge frame of reference for AEW like I do with WWE. As you can see behind me, I have a long history with WWE. Also, you can see little bits and pieces of WCW back there as well. My history started off with the late 80s WWF and Jim Crockett promotions at the same time, basically. 87, 88, or around the times I got into wrestling. And I stuck with both those companies until WCW went out of business. A pocket or here or there of missing out when I was in college, but still kept up with it online. That was kind of when the internet wrestling community started getting bigger and bigger. Someone asked, though, let's see. Justin asked, do you think Briggs or Inamura will replace Jensen? Bro, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but it would break my heart if Inamura turned heel on Briggs. They've had the most subtle little bromance for like the past 6 months. They started off as if he wasn't Japanese, I wouldn't have known which one of them was which. And yet I got into them so much just in their brief backstage segments, as we have the debut of Tyra May Steele. What if, I don't know, is there a wrestler in history that's been as bubbly? What if Hugger Bailey was mixed with Kurt Angle? I don't know. But I'm very excited to see her perform in NXT. One, because she is a legit Olympic gold medalist. Two, I didn't watch a lot of LFG. I tried, but you know what? Your boy's only got so many hours in the week he can dedicate to watching wrestling. And when you have a wonderful, tolerant wife like I do, who lets me watch 3 programs a week with being involved with it, I don't try to push my luck. So I saw a clip of Tyra May Steele being chastised on LFG. I want to say by Bubba Dudley, because he's usually the one being a dork about things. It might have been The Undertaker, but they were criticizing her for smiling too much. And she did a cutaway that is one of the best promos I've ever seen defending having a bubbly personality. And she tapped into a place that if she can do that in a match, comparatively speaking, I'm not talking about her, so I'm not being a creep. It's like Kurt Angle pulling the straps down. She flipped a switch in that promo, and it wasn't corny and it wasn't weird. It was oh, there is some darkness behind all of those flowers and sunshine. And if that comes out in a match, she will snap a heifer's leg in half. I believe it. I don't think it's going to be Ariana Grace. I think it's going to be light work for her tonight. It is her debut. And Ariana Grace is that kind of wrestler. And that's not a criticism, because it takes all kinds for a truly impressive, entertaining wrestling show. Do I think Steele will be the one to take the NXT women's title from Jane? I say, God, I hope not, because I don't think Tyra May is going to ascend that fast. And at the same time, I don't want JC Jane holding the belt that long. We still don't know for certain if Jordynne Grace is moving up yet or not. If she's sticking around, I think Jordynne Grace is taking it. If it's not, I think it is ripe for either oh gosh, I just forgot her name. Either Jada Parker, perhaps, maybe Lola Vice, or, and this is going to sound crazy because she's already holding the title, I think they could fast track Sol Ruka up there, have her drop the belt to Kalani again, or they could finally have that blow off. Not a blow off, but they could finally pull the switch on her and Zarya breaking up and move her right up into that program. Because I think they've got that title in mind for Sol Ruka before Sol Ruka moves on up to the main roster one day as well. Man, women's wrestling is just so stacked these days, dude. Just like everywhere. It's crazy. 4 hours of AEW, glutton for punishment. Dawson, yeah, that's exactly what I thought about when I was entertaining it. I was like, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can keep my gimmick up of positivity and enjoying wrestling by sitting through 4 hours of AEW. And listen, on the low key, I haven't made videos about this. I've been trying to watch AEW on Max from the beginning. I've been trying to watch the old 3-4 hour pay-per-views. And last night, or sometime yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was the first All Out or the first Double or Nothing. And there was a triple threat match with Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela, and Darby Allin. It was called like a Cracker Barrel match, sponsored by Cracker Barrel. And that match, it was brutal. I give those guys credit, but it tells me a lot of what I need to know about how AEW is trying to exist. And it's been my main criticism of them. Man, she just got her with a straight bridge German suplex. I told y'all light work. Oh, she's staring at the camera too. She's like, I'm not playing. Legit Olympic gold medalist, guys. So, Justin, you said Zarya or Parker, you can say taking the title. Actually, if Zarya and Sol Ruka's feud was over the NXT title instead, that could feed some families for a little while, to be honest, I think. If they choose to blow that up at that level instead of this mid-card title level. We're getting a replay of Stephanie Vaquera losing the title to JC Jane last week now. So about AEW is they, especially now, and back then in the early days, it looked like they had one foot in sort of the old school NWA territory style wrestling and another foot in like the weird outlier indie wrestling, which has an audience. It's just not an audience that's the size of anything WWE is doing. And I feel like they're leaning more and more into like our identity is like Dragon Gate, PWG, like high level indie wrestling and mixed with Japan. And I'm not saying that's all they're doing, but it feels like that is more their identity than anything else. And when that's what you aim for, those are the results that you get. And so anyway, you all may be shocked, but I'm not. The font on that looks holy 2005. That was weird. Anyway, but anyway, so I don't hate on AEW, but also like I also kind of like am a little dismissive sometimes when they're like it's the best wrestling, and I'm like, I mean, if you like 3 or 4 finishers in a row and then kicking out at one, that's your deal, but you can't convince me that's the best wrestling. If anything, it just what I said like 10, 20 minutes ago about who we are here is taking a minute to believe, is to watch the magician on stage. And yeah, we know he's not really sawing that woman's legs off her body, but we'll believe it for a second to take it all in, right? And some of the stunts they pull in AEW's wrestling, if that's for you, more power to you, man. But it makes, I'm not going full Jim Cornette on it. I'm just saying like it pulls the curtain back so much in how they react to one another sometimes that I'm like, this would be funny if there were no TV cameras around and it was a house show, but you're like doing this on pay-per-view. You're doing this on TBS, you know, I don't know, man. You're doing this in the same place on the same TV station where Dusty Rhodes busted his head open, getting hit with a baseball bat by the Four Horsemen. Like, where people used to mail in death threats to people, and now it's kind of a joke. And like, I don't know, and, you know, like I am my age and I am my upbringing in wrestling, but I think part of me is a little fatigued by that mentality, because they also do have a embarrassment of potential in AEW as well. Like, you know, Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher are both really amazing. Ricochet's really good in the ring. He's terrible on Twitter, but you know, he's really good on the ring. You know, you've got the Hurt Syndicate over there now. You got MJF there and Tony Storm and you know, Mercedes, who might be my least favorite horsewoman, but she's still a horsewoman. Like she's not a bad female wrestler. Takeshita was a guy I discovered kind of on my own without someone recommending it to me, where I saw him like, oh, that guy could be it. Like if they really get behind him. And so anyway, you know, it is what it is. But hopefully I just want them at the end of the day, all the good and bad I might have to say. I just want them to be successful enough to put enough pressure on WWE to keep putting on a good product. So all companies are still doing that, because WCW did that in the Monday Night Wars. They made each other better and by applying that pressure. And so I just hope each company can perform enough to their unique individual potential so the fans win, and we can stop hearing, you know, press conferences about how high the gate was. I'm so tired of hearing that at this point. And one of you guys who has far higher followings than me, who's probably streaming right now too, so you'll never see this. If you guys get those media passes, ask Triple H why the tickets are so dang high. Ask him what they're accomplishing. Ask him, forget dragging each other across the coals for asking about lawsuits that you know he's not going to answer. Ask him if he thinks he's pricing out average families and fans by their pricing model. Like, yeah, they have more opportunities now than ever to actually get involved and have interactive events, but only if you've got Hollywood money, only if you didn't have to pay for the ticket because they invited you in to make an appearance in between match entrances because you have a Netflix special coming up or something. Like, I don't know, man. Makes me sour because like I'm just getting into a point in life where like my kids are old enough to like have fun with it, and like I could, but they don't do house shows anymore, so I can't take them to one. Can't take it, and then we ain't got SmackDown or Money in the Bank money. You know what I mean? Mike Santana backstage, rant over for now. Mike Santana wearing a big Jesus necklace around his neck, which I respect. But at the same time now, because of Mello and Miz, all I can think about is that dumb, giant Andre head around Mello's head. He's got two heads on chains. Santana cut a heck of a promo there, which I hate because I don't think he's winning, but that was brilliant. Santana was great, and he hit on a thing that I love to hear underdogs say. I only got to be 3 seconds better than you. All right, here comes JC Jane and Fatal Influence. The Temu Toxic Attraction holding the NXT title. George, I don't know that I don't know if I'd call Fatal Influence boring. I've just seen it before. They remind me of Toxic Attraction, and For as little I felt about Toxic Attraction, I think they were better. I mean, JC was in that group too. And you had Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolan. And Fallon Henley is probably a better in-ring performer than some of them. But they've also got Jasmine Nix, who makes fun of disabled people at Disney World. So who gives a crap about her or her boyfriend? So I'm always going to have an issue with that. Oh, God, JC's voice is terrible. Oh, man. Nails on the chalkboard. JC Jane sounds like she's asking for the manager. It's bad. If JC Jane is smart, she cuts a promo on Booker T right now. Because I didn't even think until they just came out. My gosh. Poor Booker T. The crowd actively hates this. She's the NXT arena cannot produce the capacity of Dominic Mysterio heat, but she is definitely getting the NXT version of this tonight. I mean, the crowd actively hates this. They're not even paying attention. Caffeine-free Toxic Attraction. Toxic Attraction Zero. Actually, I won't besmirch the name of Zero because Zero still has taste to it. It just lacks a little bit of flavor. Wait a minute. Laney Reed. Someone tell me who Laney Reed is. Is this Evolve? Is this? Oh, Lola Vice is in the house. All the women about to come out now because they see low hanging fruit with JC Jane. Who we got next? Jordan's back, baby. She's still here. Laney Reed is from Evolve. Okay. She seemed like it. Oh, who we got now? Miss Parker. Are we about to get a battle royal or something? I'm losing count of how many people we got. Oh. They just need to play the NXT theme music and have all the women come out because everybody's coming. Here comes Kalani. Pretty much every woman on the roster who's better than JC Jane is coming out right now. And Lash is here, baby. She didn't even get theme music. But the crowd is behind her. Lash got the biggest pop of challenging JC Jane, saying all these other women have had their shot and it's her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 women fighting right now. We getting another trios match. We getting a battle royal. Oh, and Laney Reed's still standing there. Lights have gone out. Now what? Mariah May! Mariah May's in the house! Oh, they did not waste any time. Rickardy, you're right on time, dude. The lights went out and Rickardy showed up too. Mariah May is here. I think we know who the challenger is now. My goodness. All right, well, somebody call Dwayne. I got literal goosebumps. Mariah Chance from NXT. Okay. Any of my crew who's in Atlanta, get those Great American Bash tickets because surely she's going to be matched up. The best women's division in the world just got a lot more glamorous. Laney Reed's still standing there like she's a part of this. This is weird. JC Jane got the boo-boo face. Tony Khan crying in the car. Oh, man. That was a great debut. And ironically, a very AEW-like debut as well. The lights going out and coming back on. I do like NXT having that sort of having that balcony over there in the corner where she debuted. It adds a nice aesthetic to those kind of moments. I was legit shocked. I mean, I would have assumed she would have been showing up. I don't know when, but I would have thought it a bigger show. I'm giving NXT so much credit. Their weekly TV, if I'm thinking about this real quick, just filing through my brain, I think their weekly TV is carrying more shocks than any other WWE programming right now. I mean, I'm not saying Raw and SmackDown are bad. They're not. They're very entertaining. But, man, oh, man. All right, guys. Mariah May is in the house. I think we've got our marked moment for tonight. I'll tell you that. I'll have the poll up later tonight, by the way. But, my goodness. Yeah, so Mariah May definitely in WWE now. Mariah May in NXT specifically. Some people thought that you would have her come straight to the main roster. I think this is a brilliant call because the main roster is very deep right now, and you just had Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie call up there, so you don't want to do any more to that. Sorry, I had to cough there for a second. Yeah, so great surprise there. I don't know that Mariah May is long for NXT, but I'll say this, as she gets a title run, I mean, JC Jane, and I don't mean any disrespect to JC Jane, for real, but she's got transitional champion written all over her. For the big title, for the NXT title, I mean, I could have envisioned her being North American champion for longer than she'd be NXT champion. But now that Mariah's here, the clock is ticking on JC Jane. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. So, yeah. So, wow. Mariah May is now here and with NXT. They said Jordan Grace is expected to be on SmackDown. Yeah, well, I mean, she still showed up here tonight, so she's not completely gone from NXT either. We could get Jordan Grace versus Mariah May. Man, Yeah, here's the question. Do you put Mariah May in the title match right away? Or they just had all those women come out and try to call their shot? Do you do now I have only had this channel for about 6 or 7 months. So when it comes to like the Iron Survivor match, they only do that once a year? Because I'm trying to think how they would accommodate all these other challengers if they would have Mariah, take on a challenger first before taking on the champion. So yeah, I mean, I think you got Mariah May and JC Jane Great American Bash. I would expect that. So we'll see just how it goes from here. Man, I'm still I'm still shaking, just trying to get straight on that. That was such a surprising development tonight. Love to see it. So that's amazing. All right. Rickardy, who do I want to see versus Mariah in NXT? I mean, anybody really. I mean, any of those women who just came out. Oh, now we've got some ladies from Evolve talking backstage. All right, so that was just a plug for Evolve. All right, this move was nasty. That twist of fate on the upside down chair. I mean, the things Ethan Page is doing to people's throats in NXT is just nasty. Oh, Ricky Saints is getting the Ricky Steamboat treatment. He's got a crushed larynx, however you say it. That angle made me a wrestling fan. Ricky Saints is not my Ricky Steamboat, but I still love him. These Vanity Project boys look like high school athletes. I'm sorry. And maybe that's part of the appeal as heels. I don't really know, but they, to quote Jay-Z, they don't like they could bust a grape in a fruit fight. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm body shaming, by the way. Apparently saying someone's too skinny to be appealing to beat somebody up is body shaming. If you're Cora Jade, when I heard she was body shamed, I was very upset for her. And then I heard her say that. And I'm like, well, if you're going to be a wrestler and you look really small, don't get offended if somebody tells you that you're small. Bulk up, lady. Put on your big girl pants. Nevertheless, those dudes need to muscle up. Three Diglets would agree with me if he was in here. I know it. Yeah, I doubt Mariah will have a long tenure in NXT, but I like that some of these ladies are getting stints there because they still get to work, and NXT still is a developmental place even for hot stars who are coming in from the outside because WWE does do things a very specific way. They have you play to the camera in a certain way, and like these are platforms and environments where you can learn how to do that and still have the most supportive crowd in pro wrestling, consistently supportive crowd in pro wrestling. Why does he have a lizard? What is? I am Mr. Iguana. I'm not ready for AAA. I don't think this is taking me back. So a lot of y'all are probably too young for this, but man, it was a regular occurrence in the Monday Night Wars when Nitro started. First match of the night. I wouldn't have known this at the time, but it was a luchador trios match every time. And I was like, oh, 6-man tag with cruiserweights. That's what they called it. But that stuff went wild every single week, and it was a perfect way to kick off a show to keep you back. But those gimmicks, straight up nutty. And in the kind of way where, like, since it's just the since it's just the sort of YouTube Peacock once a year, maybe kind of Worlds Collide thing, I find it quite interesting. So. Yeah, you think Mariah should be in NXT for a little while longer. I'm fine if she's in NXT for a while because there's plenty of traffic on the main roster right now, which I will want to see her contend with eventually. But if she comes right now, before Stephanie, Julia, Roxy, I mean, Rhea and Bianca are still there. Naomi's doing the work of her life. I mean, Naya's even not bad right now. I mean, in my opinion. And then Tiffany's the champion, and so is Io. So, where do you go if you come up to the main roster as a woman right now? So I think it's just fine to be in NXT for a while because it's a great opportunity to showcase yourself higher than a lot of the other women if you are that talented right now too, since a lot of those ladies just left. Because the women's division in NXT is really, really good, but there was, no pun intended, there was good and there was elite in that division, and the elite ladies all just left kind of in one fell swoop. So, yeah, no bathroom break matches. Agreed. Absolutely not. So we're getting a taste of Worlds Collide here, at least with one team. Laredo Kid in there with one of the Cobra Kai guys there, tagging into Dragon Lee. All right. All right, guys. So I mentioned earlier, we're having exciting times into the school year, graduation stuff going on in NXT. I'm so glad we just saw the Mariah May debut because I'm going to have to need to cut things a little short for me. I'm going to see what I can do to kind of keep this go. I'm going to see if I can try to figure out how to keep this going, though. So just letting you know, I'm working on something right now to see what we can do to keep the show going. Because I am going to have to leave in a little bit, but I don't want to stop the stream early. I'm just looking through a couple of different options here, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. B, are you still in the chat? Cool. Are you free? Do you think maybe you could pick up the stream where I left off? And maybe we could that way everybody could still keep up. Cool. All right, hold on for everybody. We're gonna work something out, and B's gonna be streaming NXT. Let me just hop off real quick, and I'm not in the stream. I'll just be right back. Okay, guys, just a second.
Bam. How y'all doing? I like how your mascot came over real quick. Like, yeah. What'd you do?
Hey, buddy.
I didn't do nothing. Man, I gotta say, I've been impressed with Ethan Page lately. I'm not even gonna lie. That match with Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, whatever, that was crazy. And when he did, I really did think he broke his throat. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to do that, bro. So I've been really impressed with him because I really was kind of over him when he first got here, but he's been able to turn that around. I feel the same way about these little freshman boys right here, these little frat brothers. Everyone has the freshmen that come in because they were hot stuff in high school. So they think they should be hot stuff when they got to college. And I feel like that's them. Ooh-wee. So that's what I'm talking about. Tricky B, where's A? Well, A was not going to be home in time. So I just decided to help our brother Mark by wrestling now. You know how the coalition do. Coalition in the house. Yeah. What are your thoughts about Mariah May?
Love you guys. I will see you guys this weekend. See you guys this week for predictions. Enjoy the coalition.
Yes. All my love to the family.
There's cookies on top of the plate too. If you need to
Okay. You know what? I was trying not to yell when Mariah May debuted because then you guys would have knew that I was here. But I did. I yelled and it was like we knew she was coming, but I didn't think she'd be here this soon. And Mariah May is a phenomenal wrestler. She's a phenomenal wrestler. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with her. I'm excited to how stacked the women's roster is right now. I mean, on every show. Yes. Say her name and she'll appear. I believe in B. That's me. It was magic, right? Yes. Come on, Javon. Man, Javon is such a phenomenal wrestler, too, and he's so young. And I say this every time I see him. Now, even though he's young, he doesn't just look like a freshman that's playing around. You see him, you see how long he's put. I mean, these skills he has, it's insane to me. And as he gets older and just continues to evolve his skills and puts a little weight on, I just can't even, the sky is the limit for him. It really is. It really is. Oh, man, Ethan is cray. I mean, Tony Khan may be kicking himself right now, but how many of you, after all those tweets and as viral as this R-Truth thing is going, I don't know, man. We might see him on AEW. I know that I think on some level, like I said, when he first was released, I think that Triple H was hoping he would go to TNA so he's still connected to WWE. But everybody knows that if you are a little salty about being let go, that the best thing for him to do would be to go to AEW in that case. And that's where he's going to get offered probably more money. Will they mess him up? I mean, they kind of mess up most people, but not everybody. They haven't messed up Swerve. They haven't messed up Tony for sure. I mean, Tony Storm is her best self there all day. So not necessarily Bryan Danielson is amazing there in his matches and doing the kind of wrestling that he wants to do. So it may be an opportunity for Truth to go over there and change it up a little bit. Maybe he doesn't want to keep doing the same shtick. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I mean, I think outside of CM Punk showing up over there, Truth's pop would probably be insane. So, but since we're going to Worlds Collide, I plan on making an R-Truth sign and wearing an R-Truth shirt. And I would like to see if they black ours out or don't show it. And I will let y'all know. And we will record if there are chants going on. I know it's different because it's Worlds Collide, but not really. So I'll let y'all know what's going on for sure. Oh, Steven got a downgrade. You know what, Sophie Dophie? I'm not even going to reply to you on that. They all do look like young boys for sure, Rickardy. You know what? I don't see Javon Evans getting called up anytime soon, so I couldn't even answer that. Javon Evans is way too young, and I think that he needs to continue to evolve down here, and I would like to see him be a champion down here. I don't think he needs to go up anytime soon. I think that he needs to grow and develop where he is. Yeah, no, he may get lost in AEW, but maybe not because he knows how to keep himself relevant. And one of the things about R-Truth is that this is his character that he's developed and he's created. And at AEW, they do give you a chance to develop your own storylines in your character. So it would depend on who's backing him and what's going on. But there's a chance that he could, but there's also a chance that, like I said, he could flourish like Swerve or Tony Storm. We don't know. And he could still go. And so, you know, I wouldn't mind. And look at Samoa Joe too. Samoa Joe didn't get lost over there, and they don't have him sitting behind nobody's announce table. So that's not true of everybody. JC Jane's number, her days were numbered any. I don't even know why they let her do that. Yeah, I wonder that too, Sophie Dopey. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they might as well. There's no rush to get Mariah up there. Why not let her hold this title down here? I think what they should do, since there's already a discord in Fatal Influence, I think what they should do is the same thing that Prince did. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the 80s, Prince had put together Apollonia 6. And if you've ever seen the movie Purple Rain, it was Apollonia and it was her two back. When Prince and Apollonia broke up, he literally just took Apollonia out and put Vanity in. And then it was Vanity 6 with the same two background dancers and singers. Just switched out the name, left the 6 and left the 2 singers, and just swapped them out. It was kind of foul. But I would love for them to do that to JC Jane and just lift her out and put Mariah May in and leave those 2 girls as her backup. I think that would be really funny. Exactly, Dossie. Yeah, my man needed help. You know, he needed to go to his daughter's senior award show, and you know, I wanted to help him out. You know, I know he needs to get all the views he can on his channel, so you know, we encouraged him. I really kind of bugged him until he got into this, and so I'm going to do everything I can to help him be successful and to help him get the hours he needs. You know, we got to promote him. It's the only way he's ever going to start being able to get paid for this and get his super chats and all that. You know, he's a good dude. Is fine with it. It's not like he didn't know. He just couldn't get off work early enough. It's hard enough for him to get off. He has to leave a little early on Monday and Fridays to get home early enough, and he still barely gets home early enough if he gets home early enough. So he couldn't do a Tuesday as well. Come on, come on. Woo! That was so pretty. Yeah, George, isn't that crazy? I mean, maybe, Justin, maybe. Oh, you know, we were going to do the Worlds Collide prediction show, and then we decided not to, and I had to go take care of the dogs. And next thing you know, I thought maybe he was still up there editing. He was live for like another hour or something without me, just talking about everything that was going on. So we didn't do the prediction show after all, but he just had the A show last night. I don't know if anyone was in there. How long was he live after I left? It was a while, I think. Yeah, Saturday, we will. That looked like it hurt, boy. I'll tell you. Saturday, we hopefully will get to stay for all of Worlds Collide. It will depend on traffic, but otherwise we'll be heading out to get back to Money in the Bank. Hopefully it ain't blank. Bank to be live for y'all when it starts. You know, we don't want to roll in late for Money in the Bank for sure. So it would be good to see all these people fighting in person. They're all very good. Yeah, so yes. About an hour. Okay, yeah. I mean, he was, and it was funny because I just thought he was doing like some little shorts or something or editing, and because I was all the way downstairs, so it's like didn't know he was live that long. Yeah. Right, Justin? Yes. Yeah, then if that's the case, Sophie Dopey, we should have plenty of time to get home. Well, he didn't go live without me. He stayed live after I left the room, which I don't even think he didn't plan on staying live that long. It just kind of happened that way. But yeah. So, what are you guys thinking about this so far? I know everybody's excited to see that Mariah May is up in here. What is everybody else thinking about the show overall, the matches, the I mean, do you think that with the whole Mariah May coming out and how many women were out there, you think we're going to get like a women's Royal Rumble of some sort? And actually, I disagree that I do agree that um, that being talked about for being too skinny is body shaming. I know that Steven said that he didn't really think that's what that was. I mean, well, first of all, I don't hear anybody really saying that about Akira Tozawa, but you know, as somebody who was really, really thin for a long, long, long time, um, and I couldn't put on weight to save my life. I just couldn't. And ultimately, it it really did make you feel bad when people are telling you you don't look good like that or you need to look like this or that because if you're not supposed to tell people to lose weight, you shouldn't be able to tell people to gain weight. That's the reality of it. You shouldn't be talking about how people certain someone's body look at all if we're not in it like that. Are you telling the men the same thing? Are you telling these men to get on the treadmill and deal with their guts? Because there are quite a few that are quite flabby, and I don't, like I don't think that they should have been commenting on her body at all. And it makes sense that she went and got those implants. And then the next thing you know, she's in the gym, like doing everything she can to put muscle on. She's doing everything they asked her to do. And she's a little young and maybe she had an attitude, I mean, it is what it is, but I thought she had great potential. And I think that she's going to have a nice career and that they'll probably ultimately come back to her and want her back eventually, just like they did with Damian Priest, and just like even with Stephanie, she didn't make the cut, and and then ultimately you go and you pay your dues, and so actually, Cora Jade is going to be performing back east. I think she might be performing back east while we're out visiting this year, so we might go see her at GWC. GCW? GWC. Maybe it's GCW. Oh, well, that's good, Sophie Dophie. I appreciate the pop-ins. Ask KO about body shaming. Do they body shame KO? So I said that they were body shaming, and your response, George, was to body shame as well. I'm trying to get better because I've been making comments, and my husband said I needed to watch that. So trying to watch that myself. Yeah, for sure she's going to be in huge matches. I mean, it's really making people step it up, right? Like, I understand that bringing in all these indie people who are already well known is hard for people who NXT is their first stop, or, they don't really have that kind of experience under their belt. But I feel like if you've already proved yourself and you already have that kind of um, experience under your belt, to where you've already proven yourself and you come in here and you're loved, I don't see why you wouldn't get pushed up to the main roster. I know some people have a problem with it, but look at all the people. JC he didn't go to NXT. He just went straight up to the roster to back up Solo. I mean, hold on, let me see what they're saying. They're trying to sign Oba Femi to the Oh, when are they fighting? Are they fighting tonight? This is just a contract signing? Jeez, your voice is deep, bro. Wow. And what concern is that of yours, Izzy? I guess. Come on, Tony. Which is what? Poor Tony. They don't know how to treat the dumb right. No, I don't think he could be trusted. Trust nobody. You didn't realize that he was that size. She brought the speed title. Shamanica, do you watch Speed? It's not really a whole day of me because this is already the main event. So just kind of close the show out. But I'm excited about this match, y'all. First of all, I'm a fan. And I'm a fan of Trick Williams, but I'm a fan. I was so excited to see him come over here. I loved him at AEW. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Oh, Justin, you're not watching NXT right now? That's right, Ricker T. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I love Elias. Come on, Santana. Come on. I was going for Trick. I did like that Trick Williams got the title, but I think that, he don't need to hold on to it. I'm so sorry. He don't need to hold on to it for too long. I'll not be mad at Santana getting that title because he is so ready to be champion. Yeah, I do like Elias. I do. I walk with Elias. Sorry, my it's really interesting on his TV. It just like will show the characters and then just say we'll be back soon. Whereas when we're watching it in our studio, we actually get commercials. Yeah, I agree, George. And I can't imagine it's going to be too long before they bring Trick up. They need to bring him up and do something with him and Carmelo because It's not working. And Miz they're about to let Miz go. They need to not renew his contract. They need to bring up Trick and do something with him and Carmelo, because otherwise, I don't know how much longer they're going to hold on to Carmelo either. You thought I only liked Samoans? No. Now that would be really interesting to see who would be the first TNA superstar to get an NXT title. I agree. Miz is still under contract, but his contract is up soon. And looking at his social media, it doesn't look like the conversation about it's going well. They used to use him to get people over. Maybe the fact that he can't get Carmelo over is not looking good on him, because they pay Miz a lot of money. He was one of the main faces of the company for a while. And, I don't know that he would be worth it for them anymore. Truth had been there longer. It didn't matter. Oh, yeah, Justin. Right, Sophie Dophie. But that's kind of been on repeat for a long time now. Yeah, they better do something with Cross. I hope Cross doesn't get let go. I really do. Yeah, Sophie Dophie. Man, I still can't believe that they debuted Mariah May already. Like, I know Samantha Poole said that she was coming over. I just didn't expect. I guess they don't have that like non-complete, no compete clause over there with their stuff. But now I'll be very curious, because can you imagine if Truth showed up tomorrow night at AEW? Oh my goodness. I would break the internet. Yeah, I'm sure that it's going crazy on social media. I'm gonna call AC. Y'all can say hi to him. Hello? Here, say hi to the people. Say hi to the audience.
What's up, everybody?
There you go. Got A on the phone. So were you watching along with us, A?
I was, and then I got into an area of low cell reception, and I'm just pulling out of that. So I will dip back in there and.
So you missed the debut of Mariah May.
Who?
Mariah May?
Yeah, right.
See, I knew he wasn't going to believe us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, feel free to look that up, because everybody was coming out to challenge JC, and then the lights went dark, and we were like, why are the lights going dark right now? And then they show up on a balcony, and she's up there on the balcony. They've shined the light on her. He don't even believe me. See, that's what happens. Y'all tricked him once, and now he don't believe us.
Oh, sorry. Nice try, though. Nice try, chat.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, let me get into the chat. I'll take a look and see what's going on.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
You missed it too, Ricardi? Aw, man. Oh, that would be so funny, Justin. If he was backstage like, y'all seen Hunter? That would be so funny. Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. Yeah, right, for real this time. Hey, for real, for real. We're like the kids who cried wolf. All right, y'all. I'm so excited. Come on, man. Whoop that trick. Get him. One fall. Woo! From the Bronx. Where you at, Samantha Poe and Three Diglets? Come on. You don't believe it? Oh, gosh. I want Santana to win, y'all. I think it was cool that he got the title, but he don't need to keep TNA's title. Whoop that trick. Get him. Y'all was singing a song and now you're booing him. Elijah got that he got that hat on like he's Amish. He just look Amish now. All right. Did everybody say who they got? Who you got, Rickardy? You got Santana? Yeah, me too. You rooting for Santana too? Okay. Oh gosh, I don't know if he can do that, Justin. That's right. Does anybody have Trick Williams for this match? Get him, get him, get him. You know when you slapping each other back and forth, that's just that disrespect. Man, you'll see a lot of people pick up trick like that. Oh. Come on, y'all. Get into it. Oh. 2. Yeah, Santana is TNA. So he should win his own champion. You got Trick Dawsey? Okay. We don't usually disagree, Dawsey, but we were disagreeing tonight. Teflon Don, did you leave? You still in here? Drop kick. I mean, but are they going to exchange the title just on a regular old NXT when we got Worlds Collide right around the corner? I wonder. Why you think Dark State would get involved, Justin? I mean, I guess that is what they used to do, but are they still doing that now that they're just fighting as a regular old, you know? What was his partner's name? It was Santana. It was, I don't remember my own kids' names half the time. You asking the wrong person. Someone up in here would know. Oof. Right, that's true. Ortiz. His name was Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz. What's the weather like for everybody right now? Because I know LA was tripping today. It was like a little muggy and warm and overcast in the 80s. And then all of a sudden, I was outside and I heard some drops hitting like the tarp over. And I'm like, what in the world? And then it just started raining when I was walking the dogs. I'm like, raining and hot and muggy. Like, LA don't usually act like that. Booker T, I just said Ortiz a moment ago, my love. But thank you, Justin. Right to the throat. '76. Okay. South Carolina. Mid-60s. Rickardy. 78 degrees in southern Mississippi. I kind of gathered that, George. Oof. Face first into that turnbuckle. Oh, boot to the face. 1, 2, 2. That was a big quick between the eyes. You are not lying. Mm. Mm. He gonna have that footprint on his forehead for a few days, boy. Look at all the audience cheering for Santana. That is so crazy. It's NXT and they are cheering for the TNA dude. And Trick is irritated. There's one person with a sign. Whoop 'em, Trick. Ooh, someone in the audience has their R-Truth shirt on. Yeah, George, I actually hope, like I said, that Fallon doesn't just turn her back, but actually betrays her and backs up Mariah May and then is there with Mariah May going forward. Mm. Mm. A kickback for your kick for kick. Oh, they just kicking each other all in the head. I feel like I'm watching a Street Fighter match. Yeah. Oh, come on. You should have pinned him, Santana. What you doing? Oh, man, you could have just landed on top of him. Oh, that was such a good move. I think he could have won with that move. I told you he gonna have that whole boot mark on his head for a few days. Woo! Oh, nice. That was nice. Two, not quite, not quite. Oh! Man, two again. Whoop that trick. Beat that trick. Oh! Wow! Oh, got his hand on the rope. But I can't believe the crowd was saying beat that trick. Wow. Wow. That's cray-cray. Man, I don't know. It's so close, Santana, that I'm not sure, bro. Just not sure. I don't know. Now that it's looking like Trick is going to lose, I'm thinking that now Trick is going to win. It is a great match. Hey! Why Elijah didn't do nothing to you, punk? Oh, because he's trying to cause a disqualification. What? Interference by Casey Navarro and HAY. Oh! Wow. Oh, no. Oh, man. We're going to have to run that back. That's bullcrap, bro. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay. So betrayal. Okay, so What do you guys give this show? You don't see a spark in her 3 days? Do you even watch AEW, bro? Look, I am just I just yeah, Trick is a heel now, which is it's just kind of crazy, like how quickly that switched over. But what do you guys give this show as a rating? The star of the show needed to go to his daughter's. It's her senior year, I think he said. He told you guys, and it was her award show tonight, Three Diglets. So he needed to step out a little early, and so I said I would come and play guest host for the remainder of the episode, so that he didn't have to skip streaming altogether. So that is what I did. And this is still the Marked by Wrestling show, but I just guest host him for him at the end. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like hyped on Mariah May. Like I think I actually like Jamie Hayter better. Definitely she's nobody's Toni Storm, but I think she's a really, really good wrestler. I think she did a really good job when her and Toni Storm were feuding, actually. So I think she's good. I think that she will definitely add to the brand. I don't think that I'm not as on her as I think a lot of the people are, but I like her enough that I'm excited to see what she's going to do here. Oh, thank you, Rick Artie. It's the BS show. Thanks, A. So, okay, so we got Anthony said 8 out of 10. Solid show. Yes. You know what else has Mariah May done besides have a great feud with Toni Storm? Storm carried her. But Storm left for a while, and she carried that championship and continued to have feuds while she was gone, and they were all good. So I have to say I disagree with that. Even if she carried her during that feud, she didn't carry her when she wasn't there. She took a break for a minute. I didn't say May carried it. I'm saying, oh, you thought she was mid in the time that Storm was not there and what she did. Okay, that's fair enough. Got you. But I'm not saying she carried Storm. I didn't mean that. She was big in Stardom as well, yes. Shamanica, you give it a 9 out of 10. Okay. Did you watch the whole show, Three Diglets? Wrestling is loved and wrestling is hated, but also wrestling is forever life. Yeah, Justin, we know. I think that it was a good show. I am also going to give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was good. I'm excited to see if it's going to turn into a women's battle royale. How we're going to, because JC is absolutely a temporary transitional champion. Whether or not it's going to, I don't know that it's going to skip Jordan and go straight to Mariah May, and I don't necessarily want that. I think that they've already overlooked Miss Parker, and she is so amazing and dominant that I just don't want her to keep getting overlooked because of all the new people who are coming in either. So, I think overall, though, that it was a decent show. You'll give it so out of 5, you'll give it a 3. Okay. Okay, Riccardi. Yeah, I mean, and that last match was good. The match, the tag match was good. The 3-on-3. Was it a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4? Might have been a 4-on-4. I mean, there was a lot of action. You usually got to pay double for that kind of action. Taking A's lines. Yeah, so overall, I'm not going to stay in his house by myself for too long because that's just a little awkward. But I enjoyed the show, and not just because of Mariah's debut, but I do like shocking debuts. But I I thought that it was good, and I'm looking forward to Worlds Collide this weekend for sure. I do believe that we are going to be doing our prediction show with Mark by Wrestling on Thursday. So you guys will be getting a notification that the coalition is going live for our prediction show for both Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank on Thursday evening. Raid the fridge. You know, I just might do that though. I appreciate everybody who stuck with me after the star of the show dipped out. Is there any closing remarks anybody has about the show that they would like to add before I get out of here? Good fight, good night. Yeah, I like that. You're liking that IC title, 5-finger discount? Yeah, I won't be stealing anybody's belt, babe. That's not happening. And I think he would know who the culprit is since we just talked about it live on air. Y'all gotta teach my boy A how to be a better thief, because yeah, announcing it on YouTube's not the way to go. Santana does need a rematch. I like that they ended it in such a way that he would need a rematch. He was looking strong. He was looking like he was going to win. And then you have the interference. So Trick keeps the title. Santana still looks strong. And it has, precedent for them to do the rematch. And that is exactly what we want to see out of that. And I can't believe that the whole audience was saying beat that Trick. That is crazy. Crazy. Three Diglets, since you weren't in here earlier, are you still in here now? Oh, you did steal my heart, babe. And then you fumbled it. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know if you were in here when we were talking about this earlier, Three Diglets, but now people who were at the show last night are releasing footage showing that there was a lot of we want truth chants going on very loudly, and WWE drowned them out so that we could not hear them. I mean, and at one point they were doing it during the women's match, even when Stephanie Vaquer was out there, and they were also doing it during the match with at the end of the night with CM Punk and Jay. And CM Punk actually took the mic and said, I want to go on the record saying that I think it's rude to chant someone's name who ain't even here, which is obviously very funny since they did that for him forever. And all these people posted the signs that they brought, that they had put up saying like R-Truth, like bring him back or we riot, and all this stuff, and WWE didn't show their signs. So I thought that was pretty crazy. And then I guess Road Dogg was asked to take his tweet about R-Truth being released down. So I feel like that's foul. I think that's foul that they're doing us like that. Like, we have a voice, we have something to say. So we will for sure have R-Truth sign and be wearing our R-Truth shirts at Worlds Collide, and we'll let y'all know the real deal as well. Yep. All right, y'all. So I am going to get out of here. TNA is going to be interesting. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to wrap this up. Don't forget what I told y'all last night. If y'all could go back and spend some time watching his shows, or even letting it watch in the background and muting it or doing whatever, we need to get our boys' hours up, because WWE is getting real strict on the monetization now. And the fact that he has almost 10,000 people and they still are not letting him monetize his channel is crazy. So we want to do whatever we can to try to help get him over. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed the evening. We definitely will be doing that, Three Diglets. Like we said, the coalition should be together Thursday night for our prediction show. We will give you guys a time as soon as we have it. Love everybody. Thank you so much for making NXT even funner to watch. And we will be seeing you in a few days. Take care, everybody. See, I don't really know how to end his stream. I might want to figure that out. Woo! Bye.